What's going on, guys? We're day trading futures here, more specifically S&P 500 Emini futures. And we're looking at the chart, and the first thing I like to do, I like to analyze the current market structure, kind of get to feel what the current bias is. And right now, what I can tell that the bias is bullish. And why the bias is bullish right now? Well, let's start from the beginning, because the prices started with a massive sell-off. And I'm going to draw my trend lines around the sell-off because I want to see what the trend is. I want to see a clear break and a new extreme. That's according to trendline rules. After prices will break the trend line, prices will attempt to make a new extreme, and this is exactly what happened. Prices broke the trend line right here and created a new extreme right here. So the downtrend, according to price action rules, is over. Prices pushed higher, pulled back, and created a higher low setup. This right here is a strong indication to me that there's a lot of people willing to buy, and the momentum is bullish, because we couldn't even create a double bottom. We created a higher low setup. So this downtrend is over. Higher low setup coming off the support, first entry short, pull back, second entry short. This is the second bearish bar. The prices trigger one tick below, and this is called a reversal pattern. Reversal pattern is characterized by two failed attempts in the previous trend's direction. Previous trend was bearish, so this is a failed second entry short, bearish, and prices are pushing above the EMA. I wasn't really here in time to catch this trade, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw my trend line just like I did here. I want to see break and a new extreme of this trend line, but right now the momentum is bullish, and I'm going to be thinking only for long setups because the downtrend played out, higher low setup, and we're pushing strongly above the EMA. So the market has been trending higher for about 30 minutes and not really that much volatility. Hopefully the volatility will pick up. The market is going to open in around 30 minutes. But the market keeps respecting the trend line and the bias remains bullish. And we may have our first potential setup. Market opened a few minutes ago, and let me see if we can get into this trade. So I'm definitely going to use a limit order because this bar didn't really end the way I would like to. But nevertheless, prices are in a strong uptrend, and we had what looks like a tiny little break, but I don't think it is quite a convincing break for this uptrend strong like this. And prices broke higher. Let me see if we can get filled here. Come on, just a few more ticks.
Order filled.
We got filled. So I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to scalp for 8 ticks. My 3 contracts is a scalp portion. This is my main portion. I'm going to leave my 1 contract as a runner. But why I took this trade was because prices are working higher. This is a strong uptrend. We are pushing above the EMA. EMA is pointing higher. We're getting very close to getting filled. Let me just focus on this trade and I'm going to explain it in a minute. Come on, just a few more ticks. And we got filled. So this was a quick, easy trade. I didn't really expect it to be this easy, but this is the new high. Pull back. First entry, pull back, second entry. This right here is a second entry long. Now, why I'm looking for second entry? Because market likes to move in twos. Two-legged pullbacks are very common. It is tied down to human psychology, and a second entry with the trend at the key entry point is a high probability setup. I have a second entry long. It is at the EMA, so this is a key entry point, and it is a decent bullish bar. Now, not only this is a second entry long, what's more important, that this right here is a first entry short, pullback, second entry short. First entry short triggered below this bar, first entry short failed, pull back, second entry short, big bearish bar. A lot of people are going to pile up here and go short, trying to pick a top lower high setup. Now, why I like going long here, other than that, is a second entry long and a failed second entry short, because we are still above the EMA. Reversal pattern, remember guys, it looks something like this. We need to close below EMA and a failed second entry short below EMA, but it didn't happen here. Prices pushed strongly above the EMA and we closed above the EMA. So, and really, I'm still looking for a new high of this uptrend, because here we have a break, here we have a support at the key entry point, and prices are working to make a new high. This looks like a trading range, so I'm going to draw my resistance line, something like this, and expect a move somewhere around here. But I'm going to trail my target profit, put it very high. I'm going to trail my stop loss 1 tick below each swing, as we will continue to work higher. But hopefully you guys understand. Second entry long at the key entry point at the EMA, strong uptrend. Look how trend line fit nicely in this price is, you know, respecting the trend line. First break, major break. This is iffy break, very tiny little break. So I don't think a lot of traders are taking this seriously. And a clear move to new high. High probability setup. Failed second entry short. People trying to go short at the, you know, in an uptrend, trying to pick the top, which is a losing strategy. You want to stay with the trend. All right, guys, some price, and we just got stopped out here. So we didn't really catch a runner. That's okay though. The runner is just a bonus, just a gravy. Our main portion were those 3 contracts, and you guys can see we have a break of this uptrend, new high, and the prices are reversing. So I'm going to be looking for a potential reversal pattern, but this is looking like a really strong uptrend, and there may even be a potential bigger pattern, something like this. I like to find the bigger pattern of the first 2 swings, but it doesn't really fit off the high so well. So I'm just gonna put it like this because it fits so nicely off this swing, and prices, there may be even a midline potentially. This looks pretty valid if you ask me. Yeah, I'm just gonna tweak this around and see what happens. And by the way, guys, it is July 12th, 2021, 9:09 Central Standard Time, and what it looks like, prices are working higher and higher. So this is telling me that my uptrend looks valid. Now we broke this resistance, so I'm expecting some sort of push work, you know, pullback working lower. But this is looking like a really strong uptrend. We couldn't even close once below EMA. The first close below EMA was right here, and we instantly pushed higher and continue working higher. EMA is holding prices nicely, but we were getting dangerously close to these highs and to the previous high. So I wasn't really looking for setup. This was a very tempting setup. A double bottom right here, you know, sort of a failed second entry short and big bullish bar, but it is very close to these highs, and you really got to be careful. And prices are working higher, so, you know, I'm just gonna sit on my hands right now. All right, guys, it's been almost an hour since the market opened, and prices were just steadily chopping higher and chopping higher. I ended up deleting my initial channel because we kept overshooting it just by, you know, these few little moves up. And what I think is there's this channel that seems valid. I kind of like this channel, how it fits. Off this side, prices are constantly pushing higher and higher every single time it touches this trend line. It can't even get to the EMA. EMA is pointing higher, so this is a strong uptrend. I'm only still thinking for reasons to go long, but there are only first entries right here. This is not high probability, you know, setup. Not here. First entry long, pullback. First entry long, and there's no second entry. You know, first entry long. So this is very hard to enter on just first entries. I really like to wait for those 2-legged pullbacks. That's high probability, but you guys can see how EMA is pointing higher. Prices are above the EMA. Every single pullback is being bought, so there's a lot of bulls in the market. Strong bullish momentum, so I'm, you know, only thinking long right now. And while we're waiting for setup, I want to talk about this reversal pattern, because even though this is a reversal pattern and it's really good, it's not the ideal one, because the reversal pattern I like, and that's the highest probability, is the one that, you know, price, the second entry short happens at the EMA. This right here, this failed second entry, we closed far away from EMA. So this is really not the ideal, and we also moved quite higher. What I would like to see, I would like to see first leg like this, and a second leg like this, and this at the EMA, first entry short, second entry short, to happen somewhere around the EMA right here. But it didn't happen, and instead we moved much higher like this, and you're getting away from the EMA. So not saying that this reversal pattern is not valid, because it definitely is. But if you're looking for really, you know, find the best reversal pattern, what I found through experience is that you really want to see those reversal patterns that happen at the EMA and that they haven't moved so far away yet. This right here was a fairly big move, and you're, you know, getting away from EMA. You really want to see the reversal pattern at the EMA somewhere around here. But prices keep crawling higher. Once again, first entry higher. Very tempting to enter because prices are respecting this key entry point, but it's the first entry, and I cannot break my rules, no matter how tempting it is. If anything, it also looks tempting to pick a top right here, because it looks like market may, you know, swing down to this area right here any moment. But I'm just gonna sit on my hands, because if I don't know what's going to happen, you know, I'm just gonna sit on my hands. So I'm resuming the video as I'm looking for a potential setup right here. What I'm looking at is, this is just the first entry, but look at this strong uptrend. A lot of small little bars, a lot of stims working higher and higher. And this is the first break of this channel working higher. Also, we're finding support at the key entry point, which is very important. At the EMA, this is the key entry point. This is just the first entry, so I wouldn't be normally keen to take this first entry. But what I like about this setup, if you take a look at the congestion right here at the very top, this right here, whoops, we didn't even tick higher. I'm waiting for a trigger one tick higher above this bar. But this right here is a congestion. A lot of bars going sideways, a lot of stims, a lot of doji. This is a congestion, and this is a no trade zone. And the way you trade these congestions, you want to fade the breakout. So I'm taking the first entry, yes, but I am having a support here at the EMA, key entry point, and a failed break lower. If this wasn't a failed break lower, I would not be interested in looking for this setup, because this would just be a first entry at the EMA. I mean, still valid trade because the trend is so strong that, you know, you pretty much have to take any chance, because look what happened right here. You have to take the first entries, otherwise you get left behind. And that's what I've been doing. I wasn't really taking trades for hours here, just took this one single trade. But you have to be patient if you want to wait for high probability setups, and this is what I like to do. I like to wait for those high probability setups only. So I'm not going to jump the gun. We're still... I don't like the way we're closing though. This is a bearish bar. If this bar ends bearish, I'm definitely going to cancel this order. What I want to see a nice bullish bar here. We'll see. We got 300 ticks left inside of this bar. If we close below EMA, I'm probably not going to enter. But look at the trend. The uptrend is so strong right here. No bearish momentum whatsoever. None. And you know a lot of people are going to be trying to trade against the trend. Come on, here we go. 45, 16 ticks. Come on, let me get filled. Hopefully I'm not too greedy here. Failed break lower. Support at the EMA key entry point. Strong uptrend. It is a first entry though. But when the trend is so strong, you just have to pull the trigger. Come on, give me filled. I don't want to chase it though, because we have these highs that are fairly close. Am I gonna miss this trade? I'm just gonna chase it a little bit. I may get left behind here, because this is a nice bullish bar right here. This is the first bounce of the EMA since we broke the trend line. Come on. I'm not going to chase it, you know, no further. The only way I chase it, I just put it where this buy stop would be. I'm not going to chase it, you know, 2 or 3 tricks. The risk to reward ratio would not be good. And if this trades end up losing, I would lost, you know, much more money than I really want to. So just one take where the buy stop would be. Come on. 600 ticks inside of this bar. Uptrend looking very strong uptrend. Failed break below this congestion at the EMA. Such a strong uptrend. Let me see them. This was my initial. Yeah, you guys can see we're constantly overshooting it, and we got filled. So I'm going to put my stop loss one tick below the signal bar. I'm going to go for 8 ticks and leave one contract. 8 ticks right here, and we'll leave one contract as a runner just in case anything happens. This is a strong uptrend, so we may get a break and a big move to a new high. So I'm not going to, you know, leave money on the table. I want to keep the money as a swing portion on this one contract, and 3 contracts is my main portion. This is our scalp portion, and let's see how the trade is going. Come on, you guys can see that the risk to reward ratio is really good. It's not even 1-to-1. Our reward is much greater than our risk. This was a small bar, so even if I chased it a little bit with the stop, the risk to reward ratio is really good here. Come on. First entry though, failed break lower, congestion, strong uptrend. We're halfway in already. Come on. We are halfway in already. I'm probably, yeah, but early on this looked like a strong uptrend. I really like this trade. I really like this trade. I want to mark it as a good setup, but you're so close to this, to these highs, to this resistance. And look what happened. It pulled back, but the EMA held, and then we eventually broke. But I don't think you can go long into this resistance. Prices are struggling to move higher. At the end of the day, this is just a first entry and it's not a trap here. So I hope I didn't jump the gun, but I still, and let me see the bigger. Yeah, we keep overshooting, man. Maybe this can look legit. A little bit confirmation right here. Oh, let me see the midline. You know, most of the time, these first two swings are going to help you to set the trend line, and you know, it's really hard to find the confirmation. So this is why I don't really like this. But I'm just going to keep it right here in case prices go here. But I don't think I'm going to trade this long because market, you know, is scrolling higher, but not too many setups, so it's really hard to trade. So I'm going to pause the video because we are stalling and let's see what happens. All right, guys, and prices are working to hit our target profit. Just a few more ticks. Come on, 2 more ticks left. I'm just gonna zoom it, make it a little bit bigger. We're getting close to this resistance, so I gotta be careful. This is why my target profit is those 8 ticks. You guys can see we're a little bit 1 tick away, or just a hair away from this resistance. So I want to give myself some room, but you know, I'm expecting a big move up to make a new high because it's been such a strong uptrend. Really, every single bearish pullback, you know, was bought. So you know, always in long. You really only want to be focusing on buying this market. Come on, just a few more ticks. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Nah, this didn't really end the way I want to. But maybe we can get the push higher. And we hit our target profit, perfect. So I'm going to put my stop loss at the break even, and I'm going to be looking at this right now, expecting a new high. What I'm expecting is a move to a new extreme, strong uptrend. So I'm going to be trailing my target profit, my stop loss as we go. All right, guys, and our runner just got stopped out. We just cannot catch the runner. We got stopped out right here, and we got stopped out at our initial position. And look how effective market is. This is how the market makers act. They will, you know, pull the prices back and get everybody out, and you know, just to see us to go exactly where we think it was gonna go. And this is how ES is, very efficient. They like to go back and take these stops. The only way to catch this runner is really buy the very low or fade the breakout. This is why I love fading the breakouts and trying to find a trade below the support. But there was really no entry right here, and I wasn't even trading. This was too early. But yeah, so our runner got stopped out. This is just the first entry, and yeah, so I'm gonna wait for another setup. And our second setup or third setup might be actually right after our first, because this ended up like a nice bullish bar. And what I'm looking at the second entry long. It will depend whether we trigger 1 tick above this bar. We're getting very close. Come on, just 1 more tick. This right here was the first bearish leg, and this right here was the second bearish leg. And this is the first entry long, pullback, second entry long if you trigger higher. Once again, off the EMA and we trigger higher. So let me put my limit order in place. Hopefully I have enough room before these highs. I don't have enough room here, but I'm going to risk it anyway. This is a little bit of aggressive trade. This is a little bit of aggressive trade right here, but I still like the trade. Second entry long at the EMA, strong uptrend. We're waiting for a new high. Second entry, yeah, nice bullish bar. The risk to reward ratio is good. The only thing here that is scary here is that we are very close to this resistance right here. But I think the bullish move is much stronger. Alright guys, so we are stalling a little bit, but we are moving, trying to push higher. So we'll see how the EMA will hold, but right now it seems like it's holding second entry long. Come on, keep pushing. The following bar was a doji, which is really not what you want to see, but this bar wasn't really perfect either. So come on, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Alright guys, and this doesn't look good for us. We may have gotten trapped here because look at the following 3 bars are dojis, and we try to close below the EMA. Maybe we can push higher, but the way I'm looking at it longer, we are definitely now going sideways. 1 2 3 4 5 6 bars going sideways, all the dojis. EMA is starting to get into the middle of those bars. I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to take this trade because this is, this is starting to look like a congestion, like a trade right here. Very congestive. And what we probably, because we have a first entry long and we pushed higher and we attempted to make a new extreme, but we didn't. There is a strong bearish rejection, and right now we are very close to this resistance, and I'm probably now trading the market that I want to trade and not the market that I have in front of me, because this rejection was strong. We should have made a new high right here. We'll see. Yeah, and it started to look like I got trapped here. I'm gonna try to quickly get out, but I don't think it will let me. We're one tick away from getting stopped out here. It's probably the resistance. I should have paid more attention to this resistance. The way we, turned down, and we really should have been trading higher. And this is starting to look like a little bit like a wedge pattern. And perfect, it filled me out. So I actually managed to take only half my loss. Hopefully I didn't. No, but I don't think this trade is going to work now. Look at the congestion now. 1 2 3 4 5 6 bars going sideways. This is bearish bar. So I think I did well by me canceling the order. Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna, once I'm done, I'm going to take a look at this trade. Yeah, but if you look at this like this, you got a strong resistance. And the first entry failed. I mean, not failed, it got enough for scalp, but we should have been making a new highs. And it instantly turned down lower, and right now we're going sideways. So when you see your trade not, going the way you want, you see the congestion like this, you may want to exit the order. I mean, I recommend not monkeying with the trades. But when you see, 6 bars going sideways and a lot of stims, a lot of dojis, this is not what's supposed to happen. This is what's supposed to happen. 4 bullish bars going higher. This is not it. This is 4 doji bars going sideways. But nevertheless, I'm probably going to wrap it up. We're 2-1 for the day. 2 winners, 1 loser. Not ideal, but there were really no setups here. But remember, stick to the plan. Just wait for the high probability setups. There were just a bunch of first entries right here. So remember, not making money is better than losing money. You just witnessed it in first person. So I'm gonna wrap it up, and take care, everybody.